Hey guys, what's up? Stock Retail coming back to you again. Just got a quick hit video today. This one's going to be a little bit different. Why don't I set a little bit of context on what I'm about to do here? If you're on Twitter, you've seen kind of a bit of a circus and a zoo the last few days. Some of you, I'm smiling here because some of you have tried to convince me that Twitter itself is a circus and a zoo. You prefer YouTube or perhaps Facebook. I will just say my point of view that I've shared here on YouTube, I've shared on Twitter is we are in a really massive play here. And so there are powerful forces, very wealthy forces who attempt to infiltrate and cause that circus, cause that zoo, cause chaos, cause anger and rage and frustration and drama and all these things. And so I watched some of that on Twitter the last few days. It was interesting for me to see some truths being spoken, still some manipulation, and odd that some of even who I would consider have sort of joined team manipulation speaking some of the truth. So just interesting to watch that all. But I thought too, I have been kind of in the middle of some things for 40 months now. I've kind of shared that. And so I've seen a lot, I've witnessed a lot, and I have some context. And I was thinking, man, if you don't have all the context these last few days, there's got to be people just kind of saying, what the heck is going on? Why is everyone going crazy? And perhaps, it could even bother some people. I get that. And so yesterday I hosted a space call on Twitter where I just wanted to share a little bit of my, a little bit of heart, a little bit of mind, and just say, hey, here's some things I saw the last few years, and here's my point of view and where I'm coming from. So shared that a little bit. It wasn't any big dramatic like name dropping type of space. I think some people thought that's what I was doing, but just kind of wanted to add insight and context to everything going on the last few days. And then today, there's some responses to that on Twitter. Some people, trying to paint me into a corner, which is something I've seen before. And so I wrote kind of a long tweet I posted, and I guess two things. One is obviously some of you are here on YouTube and don't follow Twitter, and that's fine. I respect that. So I want you to hear my voice, and so or my point of view, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and actually just read that tweet. But then part of it is for the apes on Twitter too. It's a long tweet, and so I know some of you are going to just look at that and eyes glaze over and go, "I'm not reading that thing." So I figure if I just sort of speak to this, some of you will get a chance to hear it. So different video today. If that's not your cup of tea, I guess you can skip this one. But I'm just going to read my own tweet and sort of share. You're going to hear a little bit of, like I said, my mind and my heart. So let's just do that. All right, so flashback to 2021. I saw what was happening with the tokens. I saw that Terra brought cohodes up and that he had been given a list of many of us to pre-block. And I saw the arrival of Spence, Flipper, Ethan, and a whole bunch of others. And I did two things. I published the DD on tokens. Side note, you can find that on Reddit, and you can find a lot of my tweets about it going back to 2021. So apes would understand. That has remained a multi-year ongoing battle. Now you all see how huge that battle is. And see, I was right to do that. Also, side note here, I got called crazy and all kinds of things. We'll talk about that. I called out their gang by name. I highlighted their toxicity as well as their plans. I pointed out their scheme and also highlighted how their character flaws made them untrustworthy. And this was also proven correct. At the time, I was viciously attacked. I was told Cohodes was the savior, Team Terra, Spence, Flip, Ethan, and eventually Marine were just fighting for us. I was painted as a troublemaker. Quote, why was I causing division? Or quote, why couldn't we just get along? Quote, weird that you're so opposed to this. Are you a shill? People saying, this is the way. You must be a short. Now, fast forward to last year. A whole group of people suddenly and in unison released false DD on the ape conversion. They said things like, not one for one, or preferred equity can't be converted, and some things like that. Some were space call hosts, others were supposed financial experts. So I released the DD, mostly videos, though this time in the name of avoiding drama, I hesitated to call out names. I wish I had, to be honest, because you're still listening to some of them. I also heard one talk about child abuse live in a space when they said, if you think ape to AMC is one for one, you're like a kid who needs to be smacked in the head for being too stupid. End quote. Once again, toxic, false DD, misleading, and presented as a leader. Same pattern as 2021. I finally had enough last fall, winter, and when one attacked me, after I predicted they would, I said their name and put myself on the record, just as I had done with Terra. The feedback I got? Why are you dividing us? Why can't you just get along? How can you possibly take their bullishness negatively? Which was the same things with Tara and Cohodes. And once again, I received the attacks privately and publicly, while once again you saw me stay exactly who I always was. No change, no waffling, no flipping. Yesterday, I hosted a recorded space and began to share more of my story and who I am. I watched the circus the last few days and wanted to provide both calm and insight because I've seen it all. Thankfully, the vast majority of you saw the positivity and genuineness of what I had to share, and I'm glad for that. I did it for the community because people needed to see not everything has to be chaos. You can be strong and kind. The two are not exclusive, and that's who I am. Today again, I see the passive-aggressive posts and the DMs, some subtle, some direct shots at me, mostly trying to paint me into a box and keep me from speaking truth. It didn't work in 2021, and I was proven right. It didn't work last year on Ape, and I was proven right. And it won't work this time. You see, their only hope is to stop the warrior side of me. Their positioning and attempt at making pushing back against the darkness look like the problem. Paint me as divisive and somehow causing problems even when I'm standing up to the very cancers creating the problems. And to call on apes to ignore the last 40 months of what truth speakers like me have done and what AMC's history has been. As I reminded in the space call yesterday, we are up against very powerful, very crafty forces. They are evil, but they are not stupid. They are strategic and manipulative in their approaches, and I will never stop being in their way. Thus, their only hope is to discredit me and other voices of truth. And I say, good luck to them on that. I do prefer a quiet life, but I'm not afraid to speak up. There's a critical concept to understand here. If anyone is being mistreated, lied to, oppressed, or taken advantage of, then silence and just get along is not peace. It is not peace to the ones being attacked and stolen from. Abusers and thieves would gladly convince all to be silent in the name of a fake peace which enables their terrible behaviors. Real peace is to stop injustice, right wrongs, create healthy environments, and set things in harmony. And that is the warrior side of me. I'm willing to fight for real peace. And now you can see that is not inconsistent with kindness. Or is it kind to allow people to be abused and mistreated? Of course it's not. So, to those who want to keep me boxed in, I invite you to go back and see how that's worked out for you in the past. To those who understand I'm genuine and real, thank you. I appreciate you, and I ride with you. I will never ride with the ones on payroll. The payers and the receivers of payment are on notice. I'm here, and I am apes and AMC not leaving. Let's go.